reasons why I recommend these books. Now, the first book I'm going to recommend to you, and probably the most important, is this book. It's called English Grammar in Use. Now, this book was written by a man called Raymond Murphy. This is the 3rd edition, and I understand that it's now in its 5th edition. It primarily focuses on English grammar. It doesn't teach vocabulary. This is the intermediate version, and I think the intermediate version is almost good for all levels of English. It's a super reference point. You can look at it again and again. It's got lots of exercises in it and additional exercises at the back of the book, and it also has a key, which is fantastic because you can check your actual work and if you have the right answers or not. Okay, so that's my first recommendation. Now, the next books I'm going to recommend are in fact for exam English, the Cambridge exams. And when it comes to the FCE exam, I strongly recommend Ready for First. This is a MacMillan publication and written by a chap called Roy Norris. It's a super book. It's got lots of information in it, lots of colour pictures, lots of discussion topics, and it prepares you thoroughly for the FCE exam. Strongly recommended. The next one, for the CAE exam, so a higher level, the FCE is B2 level, the actual CAE book is C1 level, and this is called Ready for Advanced there, also a MacMillan publication, and this time written by Roy Norris and Amanda French. It's the same format as Ready for First, lots of nice information, pictures, exercises, lots of information. Very good book for preparing for the Cambridge exams. Now, these books come together with a CD or obviously recordings for the listening parts of the exam. You can buy the CDs or you can use the scripts which are in the back of the book. The books all have reference points with regard to any grammatical structure or vocabulary in the back, so they can be used fully for exam preparation. Now, you may not be taking a Cambridge exam, you might be doing another exam, for example, language cert exams, and in this case, I recommend another series of books, and these are called English file books. Now, English file go from a very low level, like this, an elementary level, all the way up to an advanced level. They have various authors, they're not all the same, but most of them are written by Christina Lathan kernick, Clive Oxendon, and someone called Paul Sykson. So these are the books. There is the elementary one, there is the pre-intermediate one, this is the intermediate one, this is the upper intermediate one, and of course there's an advanced one. Now, not all of my books are the latest editions, but you can find English file on the internet and you can order it. Obviously, books are expensive, so you need to order the right books for you and to improve your English. Now, when selecting a book, don't select a book which is too easy for you and not one which is too hard. So you need to select a book which is a little bit above your level of English. Be careful, because if it's too easy, you won't learn much, and if it's too difficult, you will become disheartened and you will lose enthusiasm for learning. So the correct level of book is very important. Now, books. The last books I'm going to cover are vocabulary books. So first of all, English vocab in use. It has lots and lots of topics in it and great vocabulary for learning those topics. It is written by a chap called Staurt Redmond. This one is pre-intermediate and intermediate, but the information in this is excellent. It gives lots of pictures, lots of information, little quizzes, and the opportunity to speak about each topic. In addition to that book, I also like this series called Oxford Word Skills, and it has the yellow one, which is the basic level. It has an intermediate level one here, which is orange in colour, and the advanced one here, which is red in colour. Again, lots of nice topics in here, nicely laid out with lots of explanation and lots of vocabulary explained and the actual use of the vocabulary in everyday situations. Excellent books. They're written by a pair of authors called Ruth and Staurt Redmond. And as I said before, they are Oxford publications. Now, if you're looking for business English books, I have a couple of recommendations. First of all, In Company, this book, which is actually an upper intermediate book, but they also have a lower intermediate book or an intermediate book. This is a MacMillan publication, and it really does focus on business English. So lots of excellent topics inside it, lots of pictures, lots of information. It's a lovely book to work with if you want to improve your business English, but that's at an upper intermediate level. And if you want to do something a little bit more difficult, this book here called The Business, which is an advanced level, it is a MacMillan publication again. The author of this is John Allison, Rachel Appleby and Edward de Chassal. Okay, there is the book, a super book. Now, it's up to you. Books are expensive, as I said, so make sure you select the correct books. I think that these books are the best of the bunch, let's say. I've been teaching for many years and have used many different books, but I prefer these. The English File books actually come in two versions. There's something called New English File and English File. Well, New English File isn't really any newer because they publish English File up to date as well. I just prefer the layout, the style of English File. It's just a little bit better for students. So those are my recommendations. If you have any comments or your own suggestions, please feel free to